Hey there, good evening. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name's Murph, and I am the host of this show. A show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. So it's Friday Night Live Experience. And tonight I decided to do I guess it's kind of a live tribute, I guess, to one of the great rock bands in the history of rock music and one of my favorite bands, Genesis. Okay, so Genesis recently did their final show ever, and to commemorate that, it was done in London. But to commemorate that, I decided to pick a show from their last tour, or their most recent tour, and towards the end of November of 2021, which is taken from Chicago. So it's live in Chicago. The Last Domino Tour, it's called. Sorry. Anyways, I decided on this concert. I mean, Genesis has a lot of really good classic concerts that they did, but I just wanted to give some kind of, I guess you call it love. I wanted to give some love to the band at the end of their long reign as one of the great rock bands in history. So in this concert is basically Mike Rutherford, Tony Banks, and Phil Collins on lead vocals. So Phil Collins is actually at a chair in this, and he did this on his own tour as well, because he can no longer walk around or do stuff because of his back. But his vocals were pretty good on this particular concert. I just chose one out of, could have been any number of Genesis concerts over the last year. So I just wanted to pick one, and I picked this one. They did mostly stuff from their poppy era, like the 1980s on. That was the era that produced a lot of their hit singles. And it's the most recent era for them, so it's probably the era they most enjoy playing. And they were on stage approximately 3 minutes into the show. They had to walk on, and Phil Collins sat, and they did their thing, getting ready. Now they also had with them, other than Mike on bass and Tony on keyboards and Phil singing, they also had Nick Collins, who of course is Phil Collins' son, playing the drums. A couple of other musicians on singing vocals and partial percussion, and another guy playing guitar. I didn't really make a note of who they were, other than just the knowledge that they were pretty solid. The only kind of funny thing at the beginning was Phil Collins with the tambourine. Must have been hard, like you've been a drummer your entire career, and now here you are out front with a tambourine. A la John Anderson, right? But anyways, these drummers, they like to keep the beat no matter what's going on, right? So anyways, oh sorry, it's Friday night. I'm really tired this week. But it was a pretty solid concert. Not one of their greatest of all time or something legendary, but it's just seeing them after so many years where you don't see them, and just wanted to say, thank you guys for decades of fantastic music and decades of touring and doing show after show and contributing largely to my CD collection. Yeah, I know I'm really bad this week. Just terrible. Anyways, they They did some tracks like "Turn It On Again." I thought was really good. Phil was pretty good on that one, and they did "Mama," which kind of gave that eerie kind of creepy feeling to it. But the song always has been like that. So they did those two early on in the show. They were pretty good. "Land of Confusion" I thought was pretty good as well. I really enjoyed "Home by the Sea." It might have been my favorite one they did on this. And then of course they did the after he did the introductions of all the people, and it was hard to hear that it was Nick Collins. I had to keep playing it a few times to get because there was such like almost a standing ovation for that part. Kind of funny, but anyways, the band did. After that, they did a couple of songs in the last part that I really like quite a bit is in my Genesis catalog, which is "Cinema Show," which is one of my favorite. Keyboards on it were really good as always. So fantastic there. And then, of course, "Carpet Crawlers" to end off the whole thing. I think it's kind of fitting to end it off with "Carpet Crawlers," one of the great Genesis songs from "The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway," which was an album that coincidentally the 3-parter or the 4-parter I've been watching on the band reuniting and discussing this stuff was what they talked about today was "The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway" and Peter Gabriel leaving the band and all that. So it was kind of fitting, I think, to end off with that. So if you haven't seen any of the more recent Genesis concerts, and you don't, you'd like to start, maybe watch a whole concert at some point. This one wasn't too bad by concert standards. They don't do a lot of movement around on stage anymore, but they're 70 and one of them can't even stand up. So, but it was just kind of a good feel thing to see them together again performing after so many decades. I would have liked to have done the London concert. It had been my first choice, but they only were giving little bits and pieces of it on the internet. So I decided that I would pick one that I could do the whole concert. The concert was a little over 2 hours. I think about 2 hours and 8 minutes or something, with some good highlights. The angle wasn't that great. From the guy who recorded it was. You could see the whole stage and everything. It was just kind of a funny angle. It would have been nice to have more of a head-on angle, I guess, would have been better. But at any rate, it is what it was. It was a Genesis final end of the road kind of concert. So sorry guys. Anyways, I think it was a good concert, and for what it's worth. Worth watching at least once anyways, just to get that kind of nostalgic feeling. So there you have it. Genesis, here tonight on Friday Night Live Experience, live from Chicago, the last Domino tour. The actual date was November the 16th, 21. So I hope you enjoyed this. We'll be doing something next week. I'm not quite sure. I got some stuff coming up this weekend, including possibly my first live video. I'm going to attempt a live video tomorrow with a new kind of arrangement that I'm doing. I've been thinking about this for a while and how to put this together and what to call it and stuff. So I'm putting together what will be called Album Cage Match. That's what it's going to be called. I'm going to pick 2 albums, and the 2 albums I've decided to pick for my inaugural first video of this sort, which is going to be called "In the Cage Match," will be featured, and I'm going to do this, like I said, live tomorrow. Let's start again because I'm kind of muffling this up a bit. Okay, so we're doing a live video tomorrow, and I'll be doing this probably on Saturdays, maybe once a month. We'll be doing something like this, and tomorrow's will be, like I said, a live cage match, which will feature 2 albums, And the criteria for the albums is they have to be fairly similar, or around the same time period anyways. Similar in style and sound. In this case, both albums have some hard stuff, some soft stuff, and a couple of monster hits. And by two legendary bands, of course. And basically what the cage match will be I will talk about each of the two albums throughout the hour. I think it'll be an hour long live video, and people will vote on which one they think is better, like which one is their personal favorites. And at the end of the entire video, I will give a kind of tally on how people generally feel about which one is their more favorite album. And so the two bands we'll be doing will be The Who and their Who's Next album, and Led Zeppelin and the Led Zeppelin 4 album. I think these albums are pretty close to the same time period, pretty similar in styles, although different in some ways, but have some similar things to them. And of course, very legendary bands as well. So I hope you'll tune in tomorrow for that. I'm not quite sure what time it'll be. I think I will probably try to shoot for like noon Eastern Standard Time, so like 12 o'clock tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you can come and show me some interest, and show some interest in this kind of thing. And if it flies, I will do another one next month on the first Saturday of the month. And so there you have it. Tonight's video, Friday Night Live experience, was Genesis, as we said. Tomorrow we'll be doing the live thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to doing more for you. So if you did, please like and subscribe, and that helps me out, gives me more incentive to continue along. And so there you have it. So I hope you have a good night, and this is Murph from Prog Monster. Have a good night. Bye.